Hi everyone, I'm Nikki and welcome to my booktube channel, Tea Leaves and Book Pages, where I will be drinking a delicious cup of hot tea and discussing, well, books. So I figured since this is my very first booktube channel video and really my first YouTube video ever, I figured I would go through the booktube newbie tag. There's a series of questions that I can run through, give you guys an idea about why I'm starting this channel, what I'm looking forward to, what I hope to accomplish with this channel. So I've got to go ahead and begin. If I am looking over here, it's because I have the questions pulled up over here. So question number 1, why did I start this channel? There are not a whole lot of people that I talk to on a regular basis who read the same books that I do, who read as much as I do. So this is really just a chance for me to initially, at first, talk to myself via this camera lens about the books that I've read, my impressions of them, how I thought about them, whether I liked them or not. And also hopefully bring to viewers different books that they may never have heard of that they may check out on their own. Question number 2, what are some fun and unique things I can bring to BookTube and what am I most excited about? I discovered BookTube about 2 years ago and immediately just started binge watching episodes and subscribing to people. And I'm still subscribed to most of them even today. And I noticed that most of the booktubers I was subscribing to were in their seemingly early to maybe mid-20s. I am in my 40s, so I think I can bring a little bit of an older view to BookTube. I'm sure there are plenty of older booktubers out there. I just haven't run across all of them yet. So I'm hoping that having a little bit more of a worldly view, an adult view, as it were, will bring a little bit of a different feel to BookTube, at least through my channel. Question number 3, why do I love reading and what kind of books do I like to read? Man, why do I love reading? I mean, what is there not to like about reading? And you pick up a book that either you've never heard anything about it or you've gotten a suggestion from somebody, you've read a review. It was people who bought this title also looked at from Amazon, and you just take a chance on this, 300 plus pages of somebody else's vision. And, it's a big chance to take. There's not a whole lot of time in everyone's day to read, but you open that book and you're introduced to new characters. The plots, the shit that some of these authors put their characters through, and, love them or hate them. By the end of that book, you have gone on this journey with this character and they practically become a real person by the end of that book. And the plots, the storylines that authors create and move their characters through, and world building. I've read a lot of books in my life, and world building has to be one of my most favorite aspects of any kind of book. It doesn't matter what genre you're reading. It just, to think that there are some authors out there who probably have an entire office wall that is nothing but whiteboard and everything is meticulously planned out. There are no surprises to this author. Nothing is going to leap out as a new direction this author is going to take because they've planned everything down to the very last drop. And then you have some authors who world build in a caffeine-fueled haze on the back of an envelope or a napkin in a booth at Waffle House. It's incredible to me. So on that note, with the world building, the books that I tend to gravitate more are fantasy. All of my ubiquitous Billy bookcases behind me, these are all of my fantasy and sci-fi books. that's what I tend to gravitate towards. I love the world building, the magic systems, the characters, human and not. I do actually, one of the things that I feel like I'm going to bring to my channel, going back to the earlier question, is I also do read pretty broadly. I read a lot of fiction. I was a history major in college, so I read a lot of history books. I read a lot of mystery, thriller, horror. I'm a pretty agnostic reader when it comes to genre. If it sounds like it's going to be a great story, cool, I'm in. And that goes for YA. I may be 41, but I will still pick up a well-written YA book from time to time. Because, I mean, to be fair, a good story is a good story. Doesn't really matter who the audience was intended for. Question number 4. What book or series got me into reading? That's going way back. I remember I was really big into Babysitter's Club, Sweet Valley Twins, Sweet Valley High when I got a little bit older. I was reading Stephen King when I was in middle school. It's really difficult to pinpoint like what book or series got me into reading. If we're going to talk about the fantasy series, that I do know, thanks to my dad, the Belgariad series by David Eddings. That was the very first fantasy series that I read, and I loved it. Sorry, Dad, I stole your copies, and they're currently on my bookcase behind me, so, but I will still read them every couple of years. They're just so lighthearted and fluffy. If I had to pick a comfort series, that's probably going to be my comfort series. Then I got into Terry Brooks with the Shannara series, and I mean, it just kind of went on from there. Just fantasy is my one true love when it comes to reading. Question number 5. What challenges do I think it would be hard to overcome on my channel? Probably making content that people would want to watch. Ostensibly, at the beginning, this channel really is for me. It's for me to talk to myself about the books that I am reading, the ones that I've got coming up. But I hope to make some new friends doing this and make some new connections with people commenting. And so creating content that people want to come back for, I think that's going to be not challenging per se, but just it's going to take a little bit for me to make sure that my content is up to par. I do have some pretty big goals for this channel as well as for my reading for the rest of the year. Hard to say, we're already almost all the way through January, and it's crazy to me. I haven't read that much this month so far. Shame on me. Went on a week vacation. I had no downtime at all to read. I do plan on making another video that will talk about my goals for the channel, the things that I want to do, some of the reading challenges that I've set for myself for the year. So stay tuned for that, and that'll be coming up here hopefully soon. Question number 6. When did I start reading? My mom. She used to always read to me and my sisters when we were growing up, and that pretty much started it right there. I don't know if anybody remembers the Book It, the Pizza Hut Book It programs when they were in elementary school. You had to read X number of pages by Y time, and if you did, you got a free personal pan pizza. So as a kid, I mean, even now today, if somebody said, if you need to read X number of pages for a free pizza, hell yeah, I'm jumping on that. But as a kid, free pizza for reading something I already did anyway? I mean, I got every single year. I got it with my personal pan pizza, and it was delicious. And question number 7, where do I read? Everywhere. Mostly I will read in bed before going to bed. But I have a Kindle. So I'll take that along with me, usually have a book with me. We have a really badass couch in our living room that has a great spot for reading, so I'll read there. If it's a nice day outside, I'll sit on the back deck and read. I mean, it's pretty much a question of where do you not read at this point. So that's it for the newbie tag for my very first BookTube channel. Thanks everyone for watching, everyone out there, whoever you are, wherever you are. For anyone curious as to the tea I'm drinking, this is Pumpkin Spice by the Republic of Tea. I am not sponsored or endorsed by any of the tea companies that I will be drinking. It just happens to be what I picked for today. So thanks again for watching, and read well.